Whew. It's really cold in Copenhagen today, but it's sunny though, so I'm not complaining too much. But I'm just on the way to the bakery. I'm gonna grab some sourdough bread because I think I'm gonna make some avocado toasts and cook some eggs at home. And I'm going to a bakery called Hart Bageri. It's a fairly new location here in Nørrebro. They just make some very nice bread and pastries, so I'm just gonna grab one bread really quickly. Got the goodies. I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in Denmark it's very rare that you can get your bread sliced at the bakeries, so you always have to slice it at home. I find it kind of unusual because in Iceland you can always get the bread sliced. You can even choose the thickness of the bread and everything. But here you just go home and slice through the bread, and sometimes it's difficult depending on how slimy or gooey the bread is. But this one is alright, but it's still a few minutes work. This is maybe not my proudest creation. The eggs got a bit messed up, but it's all about the taste, and I hope it's there. It's actually quite good. It's always a hit or miss with the avocados here in Copenhagen. Sometimes they're just like so bad, but this time it's alright, but it could be better. It's actually been quite a while since I went city strolling and shopping, do some thrifting and stuff like that, so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna head out into the city, bike around, see what's going on, because there's always some new stores or cafes popping up, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna bike around and see what's popping in the city today. As I said earlier, it's very cold today, so I'm gonna wear a Uniqlo heat tech underneath my jeans. And then I have these light blue washed jeans from 100. And this cardigan here is from Samse Samse. I thrifted this blazer here, but it's actually from Calvin Klein. Some black loafers from Vagabond. These are the Steven model, I think. Been using these a lot lately as well. I haven't had a cup of coffee today, so I'm gonna start at a place called Mina's Cafe Bar. It's a very local place where all the young kids go to because they have very cheap drinks and just food in general, so it's the place to be when you're young. The vibe and the look of the place is also so cool. And then because this place is very close to a street called Almegade, which is filled with vintage stores and some other cool stores, so it's a good place to start, and then I'll just walk to Almegade and do some browsing. This coffee is actually really good. Because sometimes I don't like the coffee here in Copenhagen because they tend to be very floral and fruity and light roasted. It's very cool and like very fancy coffee, but still I kind of prefer the dark roasted, more Italian kind of vibe of the coffee, and this one feels very dark roasted, so I'm very happy with this cup of coffee. Bought some pieces already. I'm very happy with them because they were both very cool, and also because the sweater was 100% cotton and the jacket was just pure leather jacket and also made in Italy, so I know the quality is very good. I've been trying to be more mindful of the materials that I'm wearing because I want to avoid wearing, you know, polyester and other plastic materials because they're not really good for your skin and overall health. But sadly today it's sometimes difficult to find those high quality pieces because it is so expensive. But that's why I like going to the vintage stores, because you can find really high quality pieces but also on an affordable price. I'm getting quite hungry, so I'm gonna stop by a place called Torvehallerne. It's a food market and there are both fresh food and also restaurants here. And yeah, I'm just gonna stop by and see if they have anything that I could grab. I honestly find this as fun as browsing for clothes. Just looking at the gourmet meat and fish and the cheese as well, and just talking to the people working here. And yeah, it's definitely a vibe coming here. I would love to shop here every day, you know, as a supermarket, but it is quite expensive, so I sadly can't do it every day. It's been so long since I had Danish smørbrød. I don't have it that often because sometimes I don't like the rye bread that much. But I thought it was a good idea for the vlog to get some Danish smørbrød. I got the one with roast beef, pickles, red onions, fried onions, and some remoulade. Not bad, not bad. If you don't like pickles, then I don't think we can be friends. It's actually fun to be solo doing stuff with the camera, because then you feel like you're with somebody. I don't know, it's a weird feeling, but it's much more fun than being just alone, completely alone, because I feel like I'm talking to you guys and showing you around, so it is fun. It's getting dark really early during this time of year. It's almost 4 o'clock now and the sun is setting and it's getting grayer and grayer. But Kongeshav is really calm during this time of day. People are just going home from work, so not a lot of people are in the garden right now. But some of you have asked me how it is living in Copenhagen, why I moved here. So yeah, I just wanted to answer that really quickly since I'm just sitting down and chilling at the moment. But yeah, the reason why I moved here was originally to study at university, because Copenhagen is a very good city to be living in as a young adult. Because for example, for Danish people, they get the universities for free and they also get paid while studying. And luckily I'm from Iceland, and that's why I'm also allowed to apply for this student grant. It's called the SU grant. I only had to work around 10 to 12 hours a week, and that's very doable while you're studying at universities. So yeah, it's a great place to be as a young adult. Also because the public transportation is so accessible. You don't need to have a car if you're living in Copenhagen, versus like in Iceland I would need to buy a car because you have to drive everywhere because the weather conditions and the lengths between places doesn't allow for public transportation. So yeah, I would need to own a car if I lived in Iceland. So that's really nice, just using the metro and biking around. And what I find so cool about Copenhagen, it is probably the biggest, smallest city, how do you say, no, the smallest big city in Europe, because it is so small and everything is so close by, but still it is so big at the same time, because there are so many restaurants, cafes, bars, shops, and just like everything here, so it really feels like a big city, but you're never more than like 15 or 20 minutes away from anything. And also something that changed for me coming from Iceland, because it is so much cheaper to travel, because now we're on the mainland and flights or the trains are so much cheaper versus traveling from Iceland, because that's so far away and just in general way more expensive. And Birta and I have utilized a lot since moving to Copenhagen. We've been traveling so much and it's just so accessible, which I love. But yeah, coming back to my studies, but I didn't finish my bachelor's degree. I went to 2 universities, Copenhagen University and Copenhagen Business School, and those were really great schools, but I was maybe studying something that I didn't really like. I felt like I needed more creativity, even though I'm really good at math and I like computer stuff and stuff like that, but I definitely needed more creativity in my studies. And during this time, the social media with Birta was just gradually getting bigger and bigger, so I decided to take a chance and work with Birta and trying to get her social media even bigger. And we've been working on that for like 2.5 years now, very consistently, both of us doing it full time, and it's been going so well and we love working together. People sometimes ask like, oh my god, how is it working with your girlfriend every day, being with her every day? At least for these 2.5 years it's been going great. Birta and I are on the same page on so many things. We have very similar goals and things that we want to do in life, so that makes it very easy for us to decide, okay, what is the next step for us and where do we want to travel? What do we want to do when we're traveling? So yeah, we're really lucky to have found each other and building this life together. I'm so grateful. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention this because some of you have been asking, and I think it is starting to rain, so I think I need to get inside. I saw that there was a free admission in one of the museums here in the city center on Wednesdays, and today is Wednesday, so I think I'm just gonna go there, get inside and escape the rain. I saw on Instagram that J. Lindbergh were offering hot chocolate in front of their store here in Copenhagen. So I dropped by, looked at their collection and got some hot chocolate in return. It rained like crazy on the way home, so all of my clothes were so wet all the way through and I was freezing cold, so I put on some cozy hoodie and cozy joggers. And I stopped in the grocery store and bought some fancy rigatoni to make vodka pasta. I feel like this is just perfect when you're lazy but you still want something homemade. We don't have a lot of onions, but I hope it's enough. I hope that you liked the city's roll today. At least I really enjoyed myself. I don't know if you guys prefer doing, you know, normal shopping or if you like thrift shopping. But I think it's good to mix the two because you can find really unique pieces in the vintage stores, and then of course you can find the very nice new pieces in the concept stores. I just sometimes find it hard to spend a lot of money on one piece of clothing or yeah, just the new pieces. So I've been thrifting a lot the past years, trying to build up, you know, a nice wardrobe and include some fun pieces as well. But I also understand if you don't like wearing, you know, old clothes and sometimes they smell kind of funny. But I mean, eventually the smell fades away and you clean them or whatever, so... Oops. I don't think you'll fit. Now you won't see anything. looks yummy. Ooh. I'm just topping it up with some Parmigiano to give it a bit more salty gourmet taste. And then I know Birta will add even more afterwards. But it's never too much Parmigiano.